A 2-0 sweep, and we got a huge NBA slate. Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and you see that smile on my face, a 2-0 mini sweep. We'll call it a mini sweep, but you know what? We'll take it on an ugly 4-game slate. More on the recap in just a little bit, and the beauty of it was that they were no sweat. That's what I like to see. But the Name That Player answer from yesterday was Zebo. That's right. Zach Randolph was the guy who cannot jump over a credit card. Here are the names of the people that got it right. At PRT Smith 437, at S.DK Gaming yet again, at Sydney Sweeney BD. Nice of her to join the channel, at Belante 1977. So thank you for all the guesses. A lot of good guesses in there for sure, but the answer was Zach Randolph. So before we get into anything, as you guys know, any graphics you see in this video or future videos are from an app called OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click that link below. You get a 7-day free trial. Nothing to lose. Go check it out. But let's get into it. And today, because it was a busy night for me and Ryan, we're going to go with a dad joke tonight. So here we go. This is actually from at Metro Kids 1. Why did the financial advisor quit his job? He was losing interest. That's pretty good. All right, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, and then we're going to talk defenses versus the small forward position, and then it's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for the G's of threes, and then we'll give our best bets for this huge slate and finish it up with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this incredible community. Also, Discord link is below. Like I said, over 4,000 people in it. We talk sports every single day and night, and we sweat out these bets together. A lot of smart minds in there as well. So that's what I got. Let's get into it. And that means it's recap time. There it is, the beautiful 2-0 sweep, just 2 half-unit plays. Blazers plus 6.5. I wish I did the money line. They came out ready to roll. I really like what I'm seeing from this young Blazers team, to be honest with you. When they're fully healthy, even if Ayton's out, not a huge deal. I like Klingon, how he's playing down low. He had some nice blocks today. And just overall, they're playing hard as a team, especially defensively, like we talked about, and it came to fruition. So Blazers plus 6.5, nice, easy winner. And then Bren Podziemski, B-Pods, over 7.5 points. Easy winner. I don't remember if this was late second quarter, early third quarter. Either way, easy cash. It helped that Steph Curry was out. I think we cashed this either way with how he's been playing, but we got a nice little break there with Steph being out as well. So there's the 2-0 day. Under trackers, same record, no unders today. 172 and 143, up a little over 15 units. Let's keep chugging along. But before we get to those best bets, let's talk the small forward position. All right, we start out with the defenses giving up the most points to the small forward position, and we got some matchups. Nuggets facing OG Anunoby of the New York Knicks, averaging 16.3 points per game. Nuggets 23.7, and then the Wizards facing RJ Barrett, averaging 18.5. Wizards giving up 23.4. They struggle against every position, obviously. And then we got the Celtics giving up 21.8, facing Zach LaVine, who's averaging the most points of any small forward. But it's a trade deadline, so be careful with Zach LaVine. We will see if he is actually even playing this game. I heard some news that he might be not playing. I don't know. It's a trade deadline, so we got to tread carefully. 27.9 points per game, though, for Mr. LaVine. And then we go over to the rebounds, and we got 4 matchups. Wizards facing Barrett again. Wizards giving up the most rebounds to the small forward position. Bulls 8.6, facing Jaylen Brown, 6.2 rebounds. Celtics against LaVine again, 5.3. And then the Suns facing Jaden McDaniels, who's averaging 6.6 rebounds per game, the second most behind Avdia of the small forwards. Again, all these stats are in the last 30 days. So that's the rebounds. Now let's check out the assists. And again, the assists for small forwards, it's not a huge deal to me, to be honest. As you can see, I'm going to show it just because I show PRAs. But I would not put too much into this. You got the number 1 to number 10. It's a difference of 0.7 assists, and assists with small forwards is a little all over, especially since small forwards can also be considered shooting guards, power forwards. All right, that's my rant. Either way, one matchup. Wizards facing RJ Barrett yet again, 4.8 assists. Wizards giving up 4.5. So that's all the slides for the overs. Now let's look at the toughest small forward matchups if you're looking at some unders. And as you can see, a ton of teams are playing today. For almost, let's see, we got 9 of the 11 fewest points per game allowed. Spurs only 16.5 points per game given up to the small forward position. Pacers, Knicks, Pistons, Clippers, so on and so on. And then speaking of those Knicks, they're also right there, number 1, the fewest rebounds allowed to the small forward position with the Nuggets, Warriors, and then we got Nets and Raptors as well. Fewest assists, Bulls, Celtics, Thunder, Suns, Knicks, Spurs, and Pistons are the teams playing today. Again, all these stats are in the last 30 days. So That's what we got for all the matchups for the small forwards. And now let's take a look at the G's of threes. All right, here we go. If you're new to the channel, we do this every single Wednesday to help you out with some 3-point props, points props, whatever this does for you. But here's the deal. You have to have at least 40 or more 3-point attempts and be shooting 40% or more to be making this list. We got a little over 2 pages on this one. I'm not going to go through every single one, but here's some hot shooters. Edwards is taking the most at 76, which we've had some numbers up there, near 90, 95. But either way, you see Malik Beasley for the Pistons. You know he's been up and down, but 48.4%. He is lights out right now. And Jalen Green as well, 47.5%. His teammate right down there, two below, Fred VanVleet, 49.2%. Now, all this is in the last 8 games. If they played less than 8 games, you will see it like you see on VanVleet, which shows 7 games. And as we go down, how about Mikal Bridges? 50%, 25 for 50 from the 3-point range, as well as his boy Jalen Brunson, 47.1. And then Scoot Henderson, 47.9, does not take into account what just happened on Tuesday, just so you guys know. But over there on the right side, you'll see it on every single page. The defense is giving up the highest 3-point percentage in the last 8 games, just to kind of help you out with some matchups and give you some more info as well. But that's page 1. Take a screenshot. Now let's look at page 2. You will see the man in green. He is the leader in the clubhouse, Naz Reid, 27 for 45, shooting 60% from 3. That is just absolutely silliness. It really is. I mean, that's better than Shaq's free throw percentage. It's just crazy. And then we got D'Angelo Russell. You see, only played 6 games, but Desmond Bain shooting 52.4%, along with Grayson Allen as well, right below him. And then Luke Kennard, because everyone loves betting Kennards, right? 24 for 52. Or 24 for 42, sorry, 57.1%. And then there's all the rest of the guys. So take a screenshot. Now let's move on to the final page, and it only has 3. That's right. Isaiah Cotton Eye Joe, 19 for 40 in the last 6 games, 47.5%. And then Keyshawn George, I think is how you pronounce his first name, of the Wizards. That's not Keontae George. Spencer Dinwiddie, 16 for 40. Both of them are shooting right at 40%. So that's what we got for all the research help today. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first best bet is a money line parlay. Give me the Pacers and the Cavaliers on the money line for -107 on ESPN Bet. This is a 1-unit play for me. Let's talk Pacers first. Yes, they're coming off 2 games in France. It's not an ideal spot, obviously, but again, it doesn't worry me that much because they had 3 days off. If it was like a 1 day off playing the next day, I wouldn't touch this probably. But 3 days off is quite a bit to get back into America and adjust. But Pacers in January, how about the second best net rating in the NBA at 10.2, only behind the Thunder? They have the 5th best defensive rating, 5th best offensive rating. Only the Thunder are the other team that are in the top 5 in both this month. They have the lowest turnover rate in the NBA also this month. Pacers are a top 10 team that try to get points off turnovers lately, and it's not going to be as easy for them, that's for sure. But the Pacers 9-2 in 2025 so far, with wins over the Cavaliers, this Pistons team already when they won by 11, the Warriors, the Suns, the Heat, decent wins. Not saying they're all just unbelievable, but Pascal Siakam has quietly had a good season for them. It's kind of a different guy on a different night that can beat you. Andrew Nembhard is a big piece of this offense. He is questionable. I understand that. I still think they pull out a win without him, but obviously it would be ideal if he was playing. And then the Pistons in January, 9-5 this month, playing decent ball too. I'm not going to sit here and say they're playing terrible. 13th net rating. They're really struggling offensively though. 23rd in points scored per game this month. And then more numbers. Pacers 12-7 at home. Pistons are 13-12 straight up on the road. Again, these are straight up numbers because it's on the money line. And the Pistons are coming off back-to-back blowout losses to the Magic and the Cavs. So not exactly in great form right now, but those are tougher matchups. Pacers 10-5 straight up as a home favorite. Pistons 10-10 straight up as a road underdog. I think I'm getting the hotter team here at home to just win the game. Even if the Pistons keep this pretty close, which they could, I just need a 1-point win. That's all I need. So give me the Pacers on the money line here at home. Second leg, Cavaliers money line. They had a little bit of a mini slump, but they hopefully just came out of it with a 19-point win over those Pistons like we just talked about. Defense finally looked a little bit more like what we're used to seeing. But the Cavs in January, 12th best net rating, obviously one of their lower months lately, but all due to their struggling defense. They still have the #1 offensive rating in the month of January in the NBA. And some of this has just been a tough schedule. They faced the Thunder twice, the Rockets twice, the Pacers twice, and the T-Wolves. So, some of the mini slump had to do with that. Some just had to do that. They just had defensive breakdowns, just too many of them. They also missed Evan Mobley for a week and a half, but obviously he is back now. This will be one of the easier matchups this month for them. The Heat in January, they have the 11th worst net rating this month, the 7th worst offense in the league. It's going to be really hard for a team like the Miami Heat to keep up with this Cleveland Cavaliers offense. Jimmy Butler's back to being suspended indefinitely. The guy is, I won't even say it. He's a problem. He's a real problem. Jaime Jaquez is also questionable with an illness to take away some more forward depth there if he doesn't play. Heat coming off just 2 days ago a double overtime game against the Orlando Magic. It was a physical game. In this one, I think that Tyler Hero is going to have a big night for him, for them to have a chance here. Khalil Ware come back down to earth a little bit in the last two games. 19 and 10, 19 points, 10 rebounds last game. You think that's a decent game? It was in a double overtime, 42 minutes played by the rookie. The game before that, 7.6 rebounds and only 23 minutes. We know that because I bet him, and he absolutely sucked. But I think Allen and Mobley can kind of contain him here. Home away numbers, Cavs 15 and 6 straight up on the road. Heat only 12 and 9 straight up at home, not very impressive. Cavs 13 and 4 straight up as a road favorite. Heat are 2 and 3 as a home underdog. That's right. They have it just hasn't been great for them at home overall. They've only been, obviously that's only 5 times that they've been that. So anyways, overall, I don't know what I'm thinking. I had a brain fart there. Overall, the mini slump the Cavs had, it's really making this a nice buy low spot because I think the Cavs money line numbers should be much higher. The spread should be a little bit higher. Even just a couple weeks ago, I think you see this, before that mini slump, I think you see this number a lot higher. So I will take it. Give me the Cavs and the Pacers on the money line. That is my first best bet. All right, this second one takes us out to Madison Square Garden, where the Knickerbockers host the Nuggetbockers. The Knicks -3. Total in this one is 240. My best bet is an interesting one. Give me OG Anunoby over 5.5 rebounds plus assists, -125 on ESPN bet. It's going to be a 1-unit play. I went back and forth half to 1 unit, but I like it. Let's go for it. So let's dive into Outlier now for this one and check out some numbers for Mr. OG. 2024, if we scroll down, obviously you can see he is over this in 32 of 47 games. Nice 68% hit rate. Now let's scroll down and take a little bit deeper dive into the numbers. Averaging 3.6 potential assists and 9.3 rebound chances per game this year. That's a total of around 13 RA chances. We just need him to convert 6 of them. That's it. 6 of those, and we cash. Now let's look at the minutes. You can see he's a starter for Tibbs. You guys get it. He's averaging 36.6 minutes per game. So I love all the numbers that when you do a deep dive. Now let's go back to the top just to kind of see how he's doing recently. Give you a little bit more recent sample size, but the last 10 games. So as you can see right here, he's over in 6 straight games. You like to see it. And actually in those 6 straight, not only does he have 6+ RAs, he has 7+ RAs in 6 straight games. This man is averaging a little over 9 RAs per game in these last 6 games, and we're getting a 5.5 line. I'd love to see it. He's averaging 13 RA chances per game in the last 10 as well, which is the same as the regular season. So you love to see the consistency there. And then the last 10, as you can see when you scroll down the minutes, he's averaging 37.3 minutes. So, obviously we know he's a guy that's going to be playing 35 to 39 minutes or right in that range. So now let's look at the matchup. Like I've said before, small matchups, small forward matchups are not my favorite to go off of because these numbers can be skewed. There's some websites that think a guy's a shooting guard. Some they think he's a power forward, small forward. These wing type players are a little trickier. But Denver, if we just look at the overall numbers, we know Denver is an absolute assist funnel. They are ranked 30th. I mean, they give up a ton of assists to really anybody. So let's go to rebounds. So the 7th best in limiting rebounds. This is not an easy matchup for rebounds at all. And then if you go to the small forwards on that one too, you can see they're 7th. And if you can see the assists as well. Obviously, they're just a funnel for everybody, but 7th in rebounds allowed. So it is a tough matchup, but I think it's heavily baked into this line, to be honest. So I'm not asking him to get 8 or 9 rebounds. I think if we get 3 or 4 rebounds, we probably cash this. So a really good matchup for assists and probably a below average matchup for the rebounds. But if we talk the last 5 small forwards now versus the Nuggets, Zach LaVine, 9 RAs in 34 minutes. Jaden McDaniels, 12 RAs in 31 minutes versus the Nuggets. DeRozan, 7 and 37. Oubre, he's not very great or very good, had 5 RAs in 27 minutes only. We're going to get more than 27 minutes here out of Anunoby. And then De Silva even had 6 RAs when he played. So I like them. I think the matchup's fine here. When you see this low of a number, you think it's like the hardest matchup in the world or something, because I just think it's too low. I think this should be at least 6.5 here. On top of all this, Josh Hart is questionable to play. If he doesn't play, obviously going to mean a ton of minutes, which he's already going to have, but it's also going to probably mean some more RA chances because Josh Hart is an RA monster. That's rebounds and assists, by the way, in case you're not sure. But NBA landmines, which I like to talk about now to worry about. I don't really see a blowout. We got a 3-point spread. We should have a competitive game. You never know in the NBA. I don't see him all of a sudden also getting, low minutes again, especially if Josh Hart doesn't play, but he's a guy who's going to play 35 plus. and he's not really a guy who gets into foul trouble. So all the landmines check out if it actually works out that way. So give me Agugwa Anunoby Jr. over 5.5 rebounds and assists as my second best bet. All right, before we get to that next bet, we have to tell you about this promo with DraftKings. You guys may have heard about it. It is awesome. I always recommend getting as many sports books as possible. You bet $5, you get $200 instantly in bonus bets. All you have to do is click the link below to sign up. And then once you're done registering, you deposit $10 and then place a $5 bet. No matter win or lose, you are going to get $200 instantly in your account in bonus bets. It's a great deal with DraftKings, and it's a limited time only, so go check it out. Of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, this third one takes us out to New Orleans, where the Pelicans host the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks -2, total is 232. We're running it back. Give me Daniel Gafford over 26.5 points plus rebounds at -105 on DraftKings for 1 unit. This opened at like 24.5 and it shot up right away. I still really like it at 26.5. So if you were someone who had this line at 26.5 last time and you lost on the hook, remember that he didn't play like the last 15 minutes in an absolute blowout. He actually had 26 PRs in 24 minutes. Yes, that was against the Wizards, but let me tell you, the Pelicans are not much better, which we'll get into. First, let's talk Gafford without Lively and Luka, averaging 28.1 minutes per game, averaging 26.1 PRs per game. So right here at his average, and he's averaging an insane 20.6 rebound chances and 10 field goal attempts per game. Now let's talk another juicy matchup for Mr. Gafford. Pelicans have given up the 8th most points and the 4th most rebounds to the centers in the last 3 days. It is not much different than the Wizards, and it's been honestly even worse over the course of the season for them. But Gafford has already played the Pelicans twice this season, so let's talk about it. The first game, 20 PRs in only 23 minutes, because again, he wasn't playing huge minutes then with Lively in and all that, so almost a PR a minute. Second game, which was just 2 weeks ago, how about 39 points and rebounds in 30 minutes? So total, 59 PRs in 53 minutes. You get what I'm saying here? He's averaging over 1 PR per minute. He's also totaled 37 rebound chances in those 53 minutes. It's been absolutely insane. Pelicans are a bottom 5 defense versus the pick and roll, man. I expect a lot of easy dunks, a lot of pick and rolls with him scoring at the bucket, some possible offensive rebound putbacks, things like that. Centers lately versus the Pelicans. My goodness. Jakob Poeltl had 35 PRs last game. 35. He hasn't had more than 27 PRs. He's only had more than 27 PRs one other time in the entire month of January. Zach Edey just had 24 PRs in 23 minutes. Walker Kessler 32 and 33 minutes. Drew Eubanks 24 PRs in 24 minutes, and then Gafford, who had his monster 39 in 30 minutes. I am not expecting Clay to hit 7+ threes and for Gafford to get off to a slow start like most of the Mavericks did because Clay just went absolutely bonkers. That was just kind of a weird situation. Plus, it became a blowout and all that. So not only is this also a great matchup, but the Pelicans are obviously a better team than the Wizards, so you expect this to be more competitive. So hopefully Gafford can get off to a good start. But I honestly don't think he needs more than like 24, 25 minutes in this game. But he has a chance of getting around 30, which I would absolutely love. The NBA landmines that we have to avoid, the blowout, small spreads. This is a 2-point spread. It's not like that Wizards game. This should be a competitive game. You never know. Foul trouble. This is probably the biggest one I'm a little worried about because you're going to have Zion just absolutely running into him in the key. But again, if he can stay out of trouble or foul trouble, he showed it. He played 30 minutes last time against the Pelicans. Even if he loses a few minutes because of it, I still think we're okay. So give me Mr. Gaffigan again, over 26.5 points plus rebounds as my third. And that's going to be my final best bet on the video. But I also want to talk about a few others. So let's go to the leans. All right, here we go. So we got the 3 best bets, and now I got 2 other leans. I kind of want to talk through. One or both may be added to my card, but it's like almost midnight over here. So I just want to talk through some leans, and you'll see any added plays, and there will be some in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. This first one, Kawhi Leonard over 24.5 PRAs. I've been waiting for his minutes to increase. In the last game, he played 28 minutes. I would not be surprised if he gets around 30 minutes again this game. 24.5 is too low of a line if this man, Kawhi Leonard, is going to get around 30 minutes. He's also facing his old team, if you like narratives and things like that, in the Spurs. Last season with 28 to 32 minutes. I just put that in because that's kind of where I think he falls in. Maybe it's 27 to 32, but either way, 28 to 32 minutes played last year over this line in 17 of 19 games, averaging 32 PRAs. Again, this line is low if he's going to play that much. Great matchup for the Spurs. Obviously, they don't have anyone on defense that's going to be able to handle Kawhi Leonard. We know he is an absolute stud. This may be an instance where the books are just a little too slow to move with his rising minutes. So this could be a possibility. I like Kawhi over 24.5 PRAs. Second one, Tyrese Maxey under 11.5 rebounds plus assists. I think we bet this bet like, or made this bet like twice this year already. He is under this line in 11 of 13 games without Embiid and Paul George. Again, we've talked about it a million times. His assists plummet when Joel Embiid is off the court. Makes sense because he gets some really, really easy assists, dumping it down to Mr. Embiid. So, anyways, in those 13 games without them, where he's gone under at 11 of them, he's averaging only 8.5 RAs. That's right, per game, only averaging 16.8 rebound and assist chances. It's tough to get 12 if you're only going to get 16, 17 RA chances a game. And then the matchup. Last 30 days, Kings are average versus point guard rebounds, but along the third fewest assists per game versus the point guards. We just got burned because of D'Angelo Russell. They've given up some other decent point guard assist games lately, but I don't think Maxey's going to have really what it takes. He doesn't have the team around him where he's just going to load up on assists or anything. So it's been a tough matchup lately against the Kings, but I also see a potential blowout here. 76ers on the second night of a back-to-back. I think the Kings have a chance to just kind of run them out of the gym in this one. So I like Tyrese Maxey under 11.5 rebounds plus assists, as well as Kawhi over 24.5 PRAs. Again, I've not made these bets. These are not official. I am just talking about them with you just to kind of give you guys some more ideas and bets to look into yourself. So that's what we got for the show today. Before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The Pacers and Cavs money line parlay minus 107 for a unit. OG Anunoby over 5.5 rebounds plus assists for another unit. And then the man again, Daniel Gafford over 26.5 points plus rebounds minus 105 on DraftKings for another one unit play. We're going big. Let's get some winners today. Just a quick reminder, even though it's a big slate, doesn't mean you need to put 20 bets in. I've been realizing that these big slates can get a little funky. But either way, thank you guys for watching. Again, if you haven't already, hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. And leave a comment below to help that algorithm. But hope everyone has a great hump day. And we'll talk to you soon.